Mickey Talks.
Hey, everybody. Welcome live. Episode 60 to Mickey Talks, live from Natalie Seafood, Fallston, Maryland, brought to us by Barnes Paving, the good people at Barnes, Barnes paving.com. They are incredible. If you need paving work done, simply the best. Barnes Paving is MHIC licensed and insured. And if you tell them Mickey Talks told you to reach out, you get 10% off. Free consultation. Great people. Doug, his wife, his whole family, and all his crew. Great people. Barnes Paving. Matt, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, and the weather's beautiful here. We're around, I don't know, what is it, 80 degrees here?
91.
Is it 91?
Yeah, that's what my car's like driving here.
Doesn't feel 91.
And we're under a tent with a fan between our legs.
We do have a fan going.
Yeah, it's actually pretty hot. Yeah. But I'm excited, man. What is this, show number 6 here?
Show 60.
No, but I think it's our 6th show.
Oh, 6th show here. Maybe.
Does that seem right? Yeah,
maybe.
Probably.
Yeah.
Real close to it.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you, man, awesome times up here.
For sure. I mean, always great. I don't know who books the entertainment here, but they've got their finger on the pulse of cover bands and acoustic entertainers because it's always great, right?
Incredible, man. Yeah. Incredible. So I got to tell you, I got to leave here the show tonight. I'm driving straight to Annapolis. I have a show tonight at Stan and Joe's, it's called, in Annapolis. Come on out if you're in the mood to laugh. I'm going to try my best. So how long do you think it goes from here to Annapolis? Hour?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, this ain't going to be the longest show we've ever had.
It's all right. We'll get it all in, man. We'll get it all in.
Oh, buddy. So how was your night? Did you do anything after we got off yesterday?
Did I do anything? I just had a good dinner with the family.
Yeah.
And yeah. How about you?
I don't know.
Did you do anything?
I've been in a daze for 3 days.
Been in a daze?
I haven't slept in like 2 days. You know that. I was talking to you about it. I can't sleep right now. We got so much going on. And I don't know about you, but I have one of those minds that once it gets a lot of things in it, forget about it.
I have always had sleep issues my entire life.
Yeah.
So it's either been insomnia or I don't know if this is considered insomnia. I'll wake up at 3 o'clock and I'll get the sleep, then wake up at 3 in the morning and then think about everything I've got to do the next day.
Dude,
not allowing me to go back to sleep.
You know that part where you said you fall asleep and wake up at 3 in the morning?
Yeah.
And then you have all these thoughts?
Yeah.
Well, imagine that, but you actually never fell asleep. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, that's
3
insomnia.
in the morning, I'm still sitting up like this. And the worst part, dude, usually TV puts me to sleep. Like the news, I'll watch the news.
Yeah.
And whatever one of them channels put on a news channel, I'll just watch it and it bores me and I fall asleep.
That's how I've been working.
World War III started last night.
Yeah, right.
So now I'm up all night watching that shit.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the hell? I'm not getting into that. I can't even talk about that.
So have you tried melatonin or any sleep aids, anything like that?
Yeah. I can't even say what really works, but I can't say. But,
well, you can because it's probably legal, right?
Well, it's legal, but it's very hard to get these days.
Oh, I don't even know what you're talking about then.
Adults do it with each other.
Oh, okay.
Talk nicely and stuff. I'm just kidding. Making shit up. I'm so tired.
It's funny. I've got a news story about how people in China are dealing with insomnia. We'll get to later during That's the Facts, Matt.
Well, maybe we should.
I don't think you're going to try it, but
you don't think I'll try it?
No. You'll know why once I tell you.
Yeah, it's pretty weird, man.
Yeah.
I got to tell you this though. I can't. Never mind. You want to get into the news?
Let's do it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. News, obviously, same people, the great people at Barnes Paving, Barnes paving.com. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a little, what do you call that? Bit we do?
Yeah.
Bit? Is it a bit?
Segment?
Segment. A little segment of the news called That's the Facts.
Matt.
What do we got?
So it is Friday the 13th today, my friend. The most widespread superstition in the U.S. Terrifies millions of Americans still. Millions of people in this country have a paralyzing dread of Friday the 13th. Some won't go to work today. Some won't eat in restaurants. And many would never plan their wedding for Friday the 13th. No one is exactly sure where the legend of Friday the 13th came from, being unlucky. But researchers feel the superstition is super old. Folklore experts say it's the combination of Friday and 13, as both the day and the number have historically been connected to bad luck. Are you superstitious at all about this?
You know that is an actual medical fear, right? Called transcadecophobia.
Oh, yes, I knew that actually.
That's right.
Yeah, no,
Is that
you're right,
right?
man. It's amazing you remember that word.
That's one of those things I heard one time in my life and never forgot. I think it's called transcadecophobia.
Yeah.
I'm not good at the Latin, Spanish, or whatever the fuck it is. I don't know.
People, they still don't put 13s on some elevators now, dude. Which is crazy.
Well, you know,
right?
it's funny. I watched the whole thing about superstitions from all over the world, and usually it's steeped in something tragic that occurred
a long time ago, right?
Hundreds.
Yeah.
And what happened was that date became infamous, and then for whatever reason, or that thing, or whatever it is that the phobia is, one person died on that day or something, tragically weird. Folklore started, watch what you're doing Friday the 13th. And then over time,
then the movies came out, you know? I mean,
Crazy.
So there are some good things that happened on the 13th of June back in the day. I'm not sure if they were all Fridays, but 105 years ago today, for some reason, the U.S. Post Office Department ruled that children may not be sent by parcel post. That was in 1920.
Does that mean you can't mail kids?
You can't mail your kid somewhere. 59 years ago in 1966, police became required to tell suspects their rights because of the Supreme Court's decision in the Miranda versus Arizona case. 56 years ago in 1969, Mick Taylor replaced Brian Jones in the Rolling Stones.
Wow, when was that?
1969, 56 years ago.
Wow. And then, wait, he replaced Brian Jones. And then, if I'm not mistaken, Ron Wood replaced him, right?
Yeah, eventually.
Yeah. Okay.
And then 55 years ago in 1970, the Beatles had their final #1 single with The Long and Winding Road.
Really?
Yeah, it was their last one.
What year?
1970.
Wow. I actually forgot The Long and Winding Road was the Beatles. I thought it was McCartney. You know what I mean?
He wrote it for sure, right? Yeah.
But I thought that was after they were done. Well, technically 70, that's the year they broke up, right?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, 70. Wow. That's nuts, man.
It is.
That's a great song.
I mean, it's a very short-lived career packed full of incredible music.
Yet no one has surpassed it.
Yeah.
No one's
Isn't
better
that incredible?
than the Beatles. It's
something about being the first always in any field,
if
right?
you really think about it, yes, they were. People say Elvis or Chuck Berry, and I go, not like them. They
came over and caused just Elvis did as well.
If you look at those 7 years, look at the genres of music they made smash hits with. Rock, blues, country.
I was going to say they evolved during that short period too.
They invented hard rock, by the way. Helter Skelter.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Dude. Helter Skelter, Revolution.
Revolution, man.
It was they were heavy songs for the Beatles and for that time period, I guess.
Did they do heavy? Wasn't that? She's so heavy. You know that song?
Yeah.
Dude, I saw a metal band do that one time, and I didn't realize that song is powerful if the instrumentation is like jacked up.
Right.
That was awesome to see. Yeah.
Should we catch up on Diddy?
Yeah,
in court?
He dead yet?
Not yet. Day 22.
Kanye came out to see him.
Is that right?
Is yeah,
right.
Asshole.
Yeah.
Asshole is what I've been calling him.
Wow, those two.
He went today. I saw the thing, or yesterday. He was there to support Diddy.
Well, it's funny you say that because they say that an unidentified rapper entered the picture. So maybe that was him.
Now they're not even saying his name anymore.
So here's what happened. The Sean Diddy Combs trial suffered another lengthy delay yesterday. The judge summoned prosecutors, the defense, and Jane's attorney into his chambers. Jane had testified about a January 2024 birthday party in Vegas. She flew there with a, quote, famous rapper. That party turned into a freak-off. 7 or 8 people watched a woman have sex with a paid male escort. The judge denied the defense's request that the partygoers' names become public. This was a behind closed doors event that did not involve Diddy.
The judge said you can't say the names?
Yeah. Yes, keep it private.
I have a real problem with this shit.
He's protecting people.
So he's saying you can't say the names of the victims or the perpetrators.
Well, definitely the victims, and then I guess certain people involved, because what he was saying was this was this event, this freak off, was something that took place behind closed doors. So he protected that name for that reason.
Okay. I don't know. Yep. I mean, if he's protecting someone that really is innocent, fine. If they were involved, like in the actual.
Yeah, I don't know if they're being implicated in anything. Yeah, all she's saying is she flew there with this person, and it happened behind closed doors. But it didn't. It doesn't sound like it involved this famous rapper.
Got it.
However, the defense team described the unnamed famous rapper as being on, quote, top of the music industry and had previously recorded with Diddy. So who is that? That's not Kanye, right?
All I know is Kanye was there to support him yesterday or today.
He didn't ever record with Diddy, did he?
Man, I'll be honest with you, Matt. I kind of lost track of all that stuff after Run DMC.
Yeah,
I stopped following hip hop music. I did come back
right in the beginning, huh?
Yeah, I did come back around for a couple guys though. Like Eminem caught my attention.
Yeah.
Who else caught? What was that? I love that dude.
You like Biggie, right? Biggie recorded with Diddy.
I wasn't much of a Tupac fan. I like reading Tupac.
Yeah.
I don't like the style.
Jay-Z. Like some Jay-Z stuff.
It's okay.
You know who I really liked?
Who's that?
And I bought all of his albums. Wasn't really into rap at all, but loved Ice-T.
I was just going to say Ice-T. I couldn't think of his name. I almost said, who's that one that turned actor?
And Ice Cube, actually. I love Ice Cube.
I love NWA.
Love NWA as well.
Like, that started all around right after Run DMC.
It did.
Yeah, I love the Beastie Boys. Like, I loved all that stuff.
Yeah.
Wu-Tang. I like some Wu-Tang.
For sure.
But, yeah, the rest of it just, I stopped paying attention.
Jane completed her testimony after nearly a week on the witness stand, and prosecutors have a few more witnesses to call, is what they're saying.
Wow. You know, Matt, we may have a connection problem. I don't know. Somebody let me know in the chat room if it seems real choppy or something. I don't know what's going on, but we'll figure it out.
Meanwhile, in the Harvey Weinstein case, the rape charge ends in a mistrial.
The what?
The rape trial ends in a mistrial. A judge declared a mistrial on Thursday on the third-degree rape charge against Harvey Weinstein. The judge made his decision after a juror abruptly refused to continue deliberations, meaning a verdict was not going to be reached.
Wow.
So the charge was related to allegations he raped aspiring actress Jessica Mann in 2013. On Wednesday, Weinstein was found guilty on a separate sex abuse charge. But today's mistrial leaves one of the most serious accusations unresolved.
Dude, I think the worst part of this whole thing, can you imagine being the woman that happens to, who's, you know, those poor women unnecessarily face shame and all that. She gets the balls to come forward, tell her story, and then they go, oh, sorry.
Yeah,
technicality.
That's rough. You just hope that the judge and jury stick it to him. Enough that, on everything else.
Yeah, I mean, you know what, though? The girl got to tell her story, and everybody knows he did it. He's a piece of shit. I hope his skin rots off. And then he says, what they say, what do you want for your last meal? And they serve him his own skin.
Yeah, so publicly they know what's up. I don't know if the guy's reputation could get any worse than it already is, honestly.
Yeah. But you know what, though? It's just like, if we got to listen to this shit, I'm going to say it every time that I hear this stuff, just like I'll go back to it, like the Diddy thing, this guy.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay. I need you to explain something to me. And maybe this will make sense for some people. People like that, right? They do these horrible, terrible, disgusting things to people, and they let them live. Then those people have to live with that forever, right? Yet, if that person does those things and murders them, isn't the victim kind of like better off? Like, my point being this, Matt, when that happens to someone, and then isn't it even more cruel and worse than killing someone is to do something like that and force them to live with that?
I mean, you could ruin somebody's life, you know? I mean,
you do ruin someone's life.
Yeah, you do. Yeah.
So why don't we judge them as harshly as when they kill the person? It's almost worse than death.
Yeah, I agree.
So I feel like
like child molestation.
What the fuck? are we? So what? That guy's going to spend 100 years in jail, right? And we go, oh, but he, and then you get another guy, and he just came in and chopped the kid's head off. Well, he's eligible for the death penalty. But the one that raped the kid and then makes that kid live forever, he can only get time in jail.
I think there are a lot of people that do want the death penalty for these kinds of crimes.
I didn't know that was a thing. I really didn't, but I'm saying it right now. I will start the movement.
Yeah.
I want death penalty for child fuckers and absolute disgusting, like, just that kind of shit. Child fucker. Why do you need
listen,
to live?
I agree with you. It's one. It's got to be the worst crime, right? Messing with our children.
I don't think there's a worse crime than that. I don't.
Yeah.
I mean, no, there's not. I'm for the death
Just the
penalty
trauma.
for it.
Yeah, of course.
That's another thing, TDP. Listen, in the last year, Matt, not that I found God. We talked about this. I haven't found God. But I understand things different. You call it a higher power, whatever you want, right? People go, well, they're the only ones that have the right. No, that's not true. We have free will.
Yeah.
Right? If you believe in God, you have free will. You know, if you read the Bible, there's tons of stories in there where when somebody did something wrong, somebody got an ass whooping and wasn't around anymore. Right? So I'm just saying, I can't see a situation where if you got to heaven and God said, listen, you lived a good life, but you killed a child molester who raped 5 children. You killed them. I would think the God I love would go like this. Well done, buddy. Extra ice cream in the back.
You really think that? Doesn't he teach
loving God?
Doesn't he teach forgiveness though?
How do you forgive
Isn't
that? That's where that bullshit starts to fuck with people.
That's why forgiveness is really a selfish act,
then
as
why
opposed
doesn't
to
God forgive those
me saying it's all cool what you did. It's not really saying that. It's more forgiveness is more of letting it go for yourself. It's a selfish thing.
I get that.
Right.
But God's God, right?
Yeah.
And I think
he's supposed to be the ultimate. He's supposed to be the one that judges them, right?
Sodom and Gomorrah, right?
Yeah.
They were fucking and sucking and gambling, and it was Vegas, right? It was Vegas.
It was Vegas.
Yeah, whatever, 2000 BC, whenever it was, right? God said, you know what? You're all a bunch of sinners. Let me remind you of what I can do. Boom. Took them both out, right? They're leaving. He told one family, get the fuck out. Don't even look back. Of course, one woman turns around. What happened? Pillar of salt.
Right.
Right? But I'm just saying, God's not above killing those that completely go against his wishes.
Well, you're talking Old Testament. The Old Testament God is very different from the New Testament God.
It's the same God.
I'm just saying, the books don't match up.
Well, let me just say,
right? Doesn't seem like the same guy.
Look, I dig the franchise.
Yeah.
I like Bible 1.
Yeah.
If you look at it like The Godfather, I think Godfather's the best. Although Godfather 2 is unbelievable. That's how I look at the Bible, like Godfather.
Right. I mean, seems that way, doesn't it? Yeah. Dude,
it's all. But when I talk about these pigs, these murderers and rapists, the worst of the worst. This is the thing I've never understood. Why is it okay for us to send all these young men and women out to war, knowing they could die? But we can't just take a guy out back that raped 12 women, kicked them in the face, and we can't just shoot him? Somebody's got to make that make sense to me. Yeah, I mean, if you take religion out of the picture, it makes perfect sense, right? I don't even think it matters with it in it. Yeah. I don't. How do you justify that? I'm just saying, I don't get my morals necessarily from the Bible. Of course, Matt, that's another misnomer with people. I learned all what's right and wrong from the Bible. You ever met somebody that's an atheist that never even around religion and they're nice people? Where the fuck did they get it from? Yeah, well, some people, I'm not. Listen. These when you get into these conversations, I've learned the semantics of it all and the nuance is what people get hung up on. So I just started looking at everything logically. Well, you can find all the good stuff in the Bible. You can find it all. Yeah, but you also got the bad shit. True. Which is kind of telling us, hey, try to live good. Yeah. But if somebody's a dickhead every now and then, you got to flood the earth. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, look, the greatest guy that ever lived in the Bible. How do we treat him? And we're all forgiven for that. So if I take a murderer or rapist out back at a time where I just was so enraged and killed him in honor of God and these children and these women, of other men. I just killed the worst person alive to make us live well. Yeah, you're gonna have to write another Bible to explain this shit.
I think a lot of people would agree with you, man.
I hope so. I'm not shitting on anybody's religion. I love it. When you do it right, religion, it's awesome. When you start using it to justify other shit, that's where you go, well, close that book up for a little bit.
So, dude, I don't even know this, but the robots are here in Maryland.
Dude, don't tell me to.
There's a parking garage testing out a security robot. We got a picture of it right here. It looks like a Star Wars droid, man.
Really?
Yeah. Robot technology. So let me tell you about this guy here.
That's C4BO.
The Montgomery County, Maryland Department of Transportation says they're giving a test run. This thing is 5'4", 420 pounds.
The robot's bigger than me.
And it weighs 4 times what you weigh.
Well, let's do the math. Go ahead.
420 pounds.
How many times did you say?
I said 4. I'm being kind.
It's about 2.4 times more than what I weigh. But thank you, buddy.
The robot has been nicknamed Parker. And
Parker?
it's said to resemble a giant rolling air freshener. And a lot of people are saying it looks like Star Wars. Reportedly, this robot has the ability to detect people, read license plates, make broadcast announcements, and run thermal scans. This is the beginning of it all, man.
Dude, I'm telling you, look, World War III started last night. Robots are now just scanning us anywhere to tell us what we're doing. We're in it, brother.
We're definitely in it.
Welcome to the New World Order.
People are going to look back on this video 25, 30 years from now, and it's going to sound ridiculous because robots are going to be everywhere doing everything.
How do they do anything?
Yeah. Look at them talking about the parking robot.
They used to drive their own car.
They used to have people like that would like take tickets and stuff.
Oh, fuck.
I mean, like,
I love it.
Yeah,
it's
like,
hilarious.
What?
Where? Let me ask a question.
Like Star Wars wasn't real or something?
That's the other thing.
Yeah.
All that futuristic shit.
Yeah.
It's going to be unbelievable. Does it show how much genius
does that end the sci-fi genre of movies? Right. I don't know.
I don't know where we go from here.
I mean, I guess you could still call it sci-fi, but it would be reality.
You know what the future dreamers think about? They're doing it now. Space. Yeah. We've done everything here.
Well, sure. That's what I'm saying. Once we're in space and once the robots and AI are here, is there a sci-fi genre anymore?
You know what I want to do you're going to think I'm insane. I wish they built, I think they do have them. Like a hotel in the ocean. Like you go down into the ocean.
That's where the aliens are, man.
Well, you know what I'm saying? Like, would you stay in an ocean that's on the ocean floor? Say it's only 150 feet deep.
My daughter and I built a Minecraft underwater hotel.
Are you serious?
Yes. It's the most awesome world ever.
That sounds amazing.
But would I stay in one for real? I think in somewhere in the Caribbean, they have a room in a hotel that's underwater.
Really?
Yeah. I don't think it's the entire hotel.
It's like a bedroom or something.
Yeah. And you know, the fish and everything are swimming all around you. I think it's like in a tank.
I would love that.
It'd be very peaceful.
Oh my God.
I think I would sleep so easy in that situation.
You know, my favorite pet in the whole world is fish.
Yeah.
At
that is relaxing, right? To look at a fish tank.
When I first left, you know, my ex-wife and I had a place and I got a fish tank, right? It was the most peaceful, and I loved my fish.
Did you like taking care of the fish tank, though?
Dude, when I tell you, it gave me purpose. Like, I tried to make that fish's life awesome. And here's why.
He didn't have a friend besides you?
Here's what happened.
All right.
I didn't have a fish tank right when I first moved out. I took my kids to the carnival. You know them little goldfish you win when you pop the ball in the bowl?
Just had one come home to my house and then leave.
That's what they all do, right? Listen to this story.
All right.
You win them, they last 3 days, 4 days.
Well, no, one like that, we gave it away. But,
okay,
but yeah.
You understand, normally they die, right?
Right.
So my youngest, Carlin, brings it home, and he's like, Dad, I want this fish. Please, Dad, don't let him die. Don't let him die, Dad. Please, Dad.
How old is he at this point?
7, 8.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, buddy. All right, we'll figure it out.
Save the fish.
That day, drove to Petco or whatever it was, bought I think a 20-gallon tank.
Because they're already on death's door by the time
great.
you get it in the bag,
So
right?
I
Yeah.
had them 2 years.
Wow.
Right.
Good for you.
And I love this fish. My son loved them. Right. I would lay on this was in like a formal living room.
Say his name.
Carlin.
No, your fish. Yeah.
It's too hard.
You can't say it?
Junior.
All right, Junior.
Junior was living a great life, and my daughter was reaching an age where she was becoming a young little woman, right? So I'd have my 3 kids at the house, and she was there. She would like try to play mom. It was funny, right? She would clean the kitchen and stuff like that. And
yeah.
So one day she wanted to clean the fish tank. So she squirted 409 on a rag and wiped the inside of the tank and killed the fish because the chemical. So an hour later, she comes in and she is just a ball of tears.
That's awful.
Ball of tears. And she says, Dad, I think I killed the fish. And I said, what happened? And she said, I cleaned his tank and I don't know what happened. And I said, you know what, honey, actually, that had nothing to do with it. What happened was I fed him earlier and I fed him the wrong food. Like I took all the blame, you know.
Good for you.
But she was still like, but I'm not going to lie. I didn't talk to my daughter for 4 years. No, I'm kidding. But no, man, that's a true story, man, for real.
Our fish came home one night from a carnival.
Uh-huh.
This was like a few weeks ago. And luckily, one of her friends had a pond where they kept fish from carnivals. And they thrived in this pond. So we gave the fish away to her. She took it, put it in her pond. But I just heard that it died. So
oh, my gosh.
Didn't last.
How long ago was this?
A couple of weeks ago.
What carnival did you go to?
I wasn't there, but I think it was something up this way in Fallston.
Yeah, was it St. Stephen's?
It might have been
in Kingsville.
Might have been.
Yeah. That carnival is a very interesting carnival in my life. Yeah, I'll tell you about that one day.
So, man, we were a long while ago. We were talking about the pyramids in Giza.
Yes,
over in
all
Egypt.
The shit underneath of it.
They're back in the news. So scientists who say there's a secret city under Giza pyramid have now found a second one, is what they're saying.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So the team of Italian researchers who claim they found huge underground structures below the Khafre pyramid in March now say they found more evidence of a second hidden city.
I'm sorry. Is this in Giza as well?
Yeah, it's underneath the Giza Plateau. So this one's underneath the Manakar pyramid, which is smaller. The smaller. The Khafre is the large one.
Gotcha.
The announcement sparked controversy amongst archaeologists and Egyptologists who said the unverified claims are a total scam and argued the technology used isn't able to penetrate deeply enough into the ground. But they're saying
the whole thing was a lie.
I don't think it is, though, man. I mean, you've seen the scans, haven't you?
Yeah,
I should have brought the scans with me. I don't know. I want to believe they are.
If these credible scientists are saying, no, then
well, listen.
I don't know what happens at that point.
Listen, you've heard the stories about the Egyptologists and the archaeologists who don't want to accept these people who are using these new scans and debunking all their theories.
Right.
So I think what else complicates it is that the Egyptian government probably has a lot of secrets they don't want to divulge. And I have a feeling that has a lot to do with it. They're very touchy about anybody. I don't think anybody's really gotten into those pyramids or the ruins over there in a long time.
Oh, my God, dude. That would be amazing. Maybe, how on Rumble, right?
Yeah.
They like to talk about a lot of that kind of stuff.
We should bring that up.
What we should do, maybe in a week or two, we'll do a special Rumble show, and it's focused just on the pyramids.
Egypt.
That'd be a good idea for us.
Yeah.
By the way, I want to thank Rambo and Friends made a big $5 donation.
Oh, thank you, guys.
I forget if it's a rant or a. I don't know how to do
we're still learning the lingo.
But Rambo and Friends with $5, they're the best. We love them so much.
Yeah, thanks to all the Rumble people who have donated. We appreciate you.
Yeah, they're the best. Go ahead, buddy.
They're saying we firmly believe that the Giza structures are interconnected, reinforcing our view that the pyramids are merely the tip of the iceberg of a colossal underground infrastructural complex. They're also saying that, archaeologists say that these pyramids are about 4,500 years old,
Yeah.
but this guy and his team, the Italian team, theorized these pillar structures could have been built by a lost ancient civilization about 38,000 years ago.
So, Matt, and we'll get into this. I really want to do that Rumble show. And I don't want to spend all day, and I could on this, but I do want to tell you, I don't know if I've ever said this on the show, that I have a real theory about a lot of unexplained things on Earth.
Yeah.
And that is this. I think that at one time we had an unbelievable society, maybe as or close to advanced as ours, within, say, 300 or 400 years of where we are now.
Yeah.
And something happened and destroyed it and buried it.
That's exactly what this guy's saying.
I have friends that will take lie detector tests that will swear that for at least 10 years I've been telling this story, that for whatever reason, I don't know if the polar caps flipped, something.
Here's what they said. They suggest a highly advanced prehistoric society was wiped out by a global cataclysm, possibly caused by a comet impact around 12,800 years ago.
Dude, and wouldn't that just...
I've heard people say super volcano.
Yeah, something,
But, you know, some kind of disaster.
I mean, think about this. What a lot of the Middle East was under the ocean.
Right.
For a long time.
I mean, all that desert there was ocean bed.
Floor.
Yeah.
Right?
Long time ago, though.
Right.
Long time ago.
Right. So we have no idea of, like, where anything was before that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And what
they're finding whale bones in that desert and fossils. And
I watched this documentary about this old man that wanted to climb. What's the highest one?
Everest.
It might have been there, Kilimanjaro. It was one of them. And at the top, they found sea shells.
Yeah, right.
Have you seen that?
Yeah. It's incredible.
It's the highest place on Earth.
I think it is Kilimanjaro, though.
Yeah, and
I think you're right.
Seashells and shit.
Yep.
It's just so, like...
It's incredible.
That's the highest place on Earth. Used to be under the ocean.
Mind-blowing, right? I think they used that as evidence for the flood, is what they were saying, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right?
Well, I think religious people do. I think other people think...
Well, the world, you know, not just religions. I think cultures around the world have that myth.
But you know what I think the truth is? That at some point, the Earth just goes...
Well, they know that.
Right back into
they
rotation.
know it does. The poles reverse. And they say we're overdue for that. Could be any minute now, Nick. Friday the 13th,
We're
man.
about to kill ourselves anyway, right? What would you do? Seriously, ever think about it? If, like, all of a sudden we just went, what?
I mean, it would be devastating to the most of the world and most of the living things on this earth.
I hope you can swim. Here's a question.
Yeah.
Say it did. Whole continents are gone under the ocean now, right? You're left on a piece of land on Earth somehow, or end up on one. What do you do?
Be awfully lonely, first of all, right?
Say you got 30 people with you. First thing you got
to rebuild, man.
You got to kill the biggest, strongest one first. And get rid of the king.
What are you, in jail?
No, you got to kill the king. And then you can all start delegating. Dude, we're going to do
I'm not killing if we got 30 people left.
Yeah, I ain't killing
nobody.
We get to 100, one's going. Yeah.
So you were talking about your sleep issues, man.
Oh,
there's a Chinese hack of sleeping.
Chinese hack?
Yeah. Their new hack for insomnia.
Yeah.
Is sleeping while hanging by their chin. And this is being criticized by doctors. We got video right here if you want to check it out. Yeah.
All right. How do I do this, buddy? Just hit that.
No, it's the robot. So take that one out. Remove that.
It says it's up. I don't know what's going on here. Hold on, everybody.
Yeah, so it's a quirky Chinese trend that shows seniors looping a U-shaped belt under their chins, right?
Yeah.
And they clip it to playground bars.
I see it now. Oh,
yeah.
My God. Are you allowed to pleasure yourself while you do this? Because I think that's caused a lot of problems in the past for people. Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Look at this idiot.
I think there's sound. I don't know if they can hear us very well right now.
I don't know either. But that is unbelievable. Look at that, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Hey, what's up, girl? Can you imagine? Oh, what's your good ladies do? Hey, what's up, ladies? Back flow Bean. Yeah, all right. I'm done with that.
So
That's
they gently swing to cure insomnia and neck pain, they say. 57-year-old Chinese guy came up with this. He says it eased his cervical spondylosis. And he's now filed a patent for this and hosts group swinging sessions.
Group swinging sessions?
Yeah.
What are you doing tonight, hon? I was going to go swinging.
I think the doctors are saying don't do it. They warn the belt can pinch nerves, cut blood flow to the brain, fracture vertebrae, or even choke users. At least one death has been linked to a misplaced strap.
Oh, my God. That's insane, dude.
But people are still doing it.
Could you do it?
No. Not in a million years would I even attempt that.
No.
Number one, because not for just the fact that it looks ridiculous. I mean,
I didn't mind. I like the one part where the guy's legs were just. I can just picture the guy like, "Hey, what's happening? What's going on, everybody? How you feeling?"
I mean, what a racket, man!
It's unreal.
It'll be like, gotta be $500, you know?
Is that the news, bro?
That's the news.
Good job. All right, buddy. You know what? It is Friday. And as always, we'd like to improve the show, Matt.
Of course.
We'd like to try new things.
Yeah.
We have a little segment we're going to try now. We're also looking for a sponsor for this, and it is called Random Facts Friday.
Yeah, got a couple of random facts for you.
Random facts, right?
Yeah.
That you find. And by the way, I need you to be our voice of honesty, which I think most people know. Yeah. I'm full of shit, and you're to be respected. But have I seen any of these?
No. They're a surprise to you.
Funny, right? Yeah. Everything right. Go ahead.
All right. So, random fact number one: during the 1960s, the Batman TV series. Did you watch that?
All-time favorite.
Same
shows.
here.
Yep.
Robin said 356 different things after the word "holy."
Really? Holy cupcakes, Batman.
They include holy armadillo, holy hamburger, holy grammar, and wholly unrefillable prescriptions.
Are you serious? By the way, I will say that may be, and again, in my opinion, the campiest.
It was my favorite, though.
The campiest show ever shot.
It's my favorite Batman ever, though.
Without a doubt.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
I love it, man.
I loved it, too. I used to watch it every single day.
Is it on anywhere anymore?
I don't know. I used to watch it when I would come home from school.
I bet they're all on YouTube.
Probably. You can probably buy it on download or DVD somewhere, I'm sure.
Yeah.
The whole series.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Now I got to do that. I'm going to look for that now. Random fact number two: the International Space Station is the most expensive thing that's ever been built.
I can probably believe that.
The estimated cost is more than $100 billion.
That's what I was going to say. Think about that, because the biggest hotel in the world didn't cost that.
Yeah. Right.
That's crazy.
And they built it, I mean, essentially in space, and this thing moves at, what do we say? We figured out randomly, I think it moves at 17,000 miles per hour.
Right. And
as it orbits.
They dock with it.
Yeah.
With precision detail.
Like a bullet can go up to like 2,000 miles per hour.
Yeah.
This thing moves at 17,000 miles per hour. It's crazy.
I wonder what that feels like.
I don't know, man. I mean, they look out the window and they multiple times they'll see all the continents every day. You know what I mean? Fly by Africa again, fly by North America again.
Hey, kids, Big Ben. What's the other one? You know what I'm about. You're the pilot. Yeah. You're the pilot of the first tour on the space station. Right. All right, folks, if you look out your right window, you'll see nothing. But if you look out the left, there's Africa, actually. And if you look real quick, up, you missed it. That was Australia. Like, that's it. You know, imagine. Yeah. And then 20 minutes later, you hear, hey, there's Africa. Look for Australia. It's coming. There it is, everybody. That's got to be insane. I could never do it.
No. I would definitely want to experience it.
I think the biggest problem with all of it, for me anyway, is that when you take, like, the world view, you're at that point, it must cross your mind. You're removed from everyone.
Yeah.
No one on the earth can get to you. I think that would freak me out so bad to be that vulnerable.
I mean, some astronauts, when they're on the moon anyway, I don't know about the International Space Station, will talk about it like it's a spiritual experience.
I can't imagine it being anything
Seeing
else.
the Earth, you know what I mean? Seeing the blue ball.
And then
where all the world's problems are and all your problems, and you're separated from all that.
And imagine this: you're looking at that, and you're standing on something that's 4 times smaller, yet that thing is massive that you're standing on.
Yeah.
And just to see that has to be like, I don't know if you come back from that, not physically, mentally. Like, what could ever surpass that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Somebody goes, hey, is there anything on Earth you haven't seen? Nope. Saw the whole fucking thing about 8 million times, right?
Yeah.
In 6 weeks. I circled around it for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, you've seen the whole Earth.
Yeah, with your eyes. In person.
You saw everything. You saw every ocean, every mountain range, every cloud that's in the sky in one day. Like, when you really think about the power of all of it and the absolute abundance of stuff that you're absorbing at once.
And then your buddy's like, get back to work, man.
Now,
quit staring out the window.
Right. Now imagine, say it whenever it is, it's going to be a long time, probably 20, 30 years.
Yeah.
When we, you're going to laugh in a second, 20, 30 years when we have the ability to send these robots out of our solar system, and they'll actually explain what it looks like. So they can't even see Earth. That's how big space is, that they won't even be able to see it anymore.
It'd be like a little dot, little star.
If that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's why when people
there's a picture that one of the rovers on Mars took of the Earth.
So I have a joke.
And it's a tiny dot.
I have a joke, and it was the Hubble, right? Telescope?
No, it was one of the landers that was on Mars.
Oh, no, I'm done. What's the one was launched in 1974?
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
The Hubble telescope.
The Voyager.
The Voyager.
Yeah.
Went all the way out, and when it passed Pluto, they turned it around for its final mission and took a picture, and you could see the blue dot.
Yeah.
And so I made this joke. I go, let me ask a question. We have technology in 1974 that could send a ship out to leave our solar system, and when it left, it turned around and captured all 9 planets and the sun. But I saw a bank got robbed yesterday, and they couldn't identify the guy on the closed camera circuit.
Right.
That was built in 2021.
They're the grainiest pictures, right?
Yeah. They took that picture, yet my direct TV goes out if it's cloudy.
Right.
It's insane.
All right, random fact number 3 here is, who do you think is the biggest toy distributor in the world?
Who do I think is the biggest
toy distributor in the entire world? It's McDonald's.
Oh, I didn't understand what you were distributor. Is it really?
And that's because, of course, there's a toy in every Happy Meal.
Wow.
On a similar note, the largest producer of tires in the world.
Of what?
Tires.
Tires in the world. Well, go ahead.
It's Lego. Lego produces a ton of toy cars and vehicles. So that means they produce a ton of Lego tires to go with them. And even though none will fit your car, Guinness notes that Lego tires are made of a rubber compound similar to tires on domestic cars. So they're the biggest distributor in the world of tires.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that's Random Facts.
That's Random Facts Friday.
Matt, I think we should add one thing to Random Facts Friday. And then that is each day we do it.
Yeah.
We each end the thing, and I'm not going to put you on the spot today. I'll do it because I just thought of it. You can if you want. We end the show, we end the bit with a random fact about us. Is there a random fact about you that would be, you think? I'll tell you mine in the meantime. You know how when, like, let's say you're in a pool. You're in the pool.
Yeah.
Right? And you're just, like, you're sitting in the pool, right? And then you go under. A random fact of mine is if I can open my eyes underwater and not burn, I feel like a superhero. Like I feel like
I can't do that. I got to have goggles.
Yeah, I can do it if it's the chlorine's not so crazy. And I actually here's the weird part. This is the random fact.
Yeah.
It does irritate a tiny bit, but I like that feeling. That's the random fact. Like I'll do it to myself.
Yeah.
And it's not like, it's
you like the burning feeling of
burning.
Chlorine?
It's like a dry sort of, I can't explain.
Oh, it's the worst feeling for me. I hate it.
It's annoying, but I don't know why. I think I like telling myself that I can take that pain to experience that feeling that I feel underwater with my eyes open. And I'll tell you one other little thing. I've been scuba diving, right? The most fun I ever had scuba diving was in a giant pool. just going around real slow.
That's where they give you the test, right? In a pool.
I learned in the pool, but I like that, like going around the bottom real close, getting down and looking at how water goes. I'm so weird. That's my random fact. You got one?
I think I've talked about this before, but I'm a hot sauce fanatic.
Yeah. Well,
so
what's the weirdest thing you've ever put hot sauce on?
Dude, I put it on ice cream. Isn't that weird to try it? I don't eat it on ice cream.
Listen,
put it on popcorn.
Hold on.
I eat it first thing in the morning on eggs. I eat it all day. But I've got an entire shelf in my fridge devoted to hot sauce.
Does Liz think it's weird?
She thinks it's obsessive, but I think she's used to it now. Now she knows she's cool with it. Neither one of them really, enjoy.
Weird guy, aren't you, man?
Oh, dude, you have no idea.
Let's get into it.
You have no idea.
What's some other weird shit about you? By the way, let me tell you this about me while you're thinking of that.
Yeah.
I'm literally, I believe, other than my brain, as far as like things I like, I'm the easiest person to live with. I don't care what's in the refrigerator, never do. Whatever's there, I'll eat it. I don't mind cleaning the dishes. I don't mind any of that. Like none of, like. So when I meet guys like you that have all these little idiosyncrasies, it fascinates me.
I think I just have weird hobbies. Go. What were you going to ask me?
I was going to ask you a question about you.
Okay.
Right. When you eat, can your food touch each other?
Depends on what it is.
See,
but for the
weirdo.
most part, no.
Oh my God.
For the most part, no. But there are certain things that if it doesn't matter.
Like mashed potatoes. Do you like those? Do you
love mashed potatoes?
Do you like corn?
Yes.
You ever mix them?
I can mix. Yeah. That's
mashed
good.
Potatoes and corn should be a dish, by the way.
Right.
In restaurants, pre-mixed.
You're right.
I'm dead serious.
For 4-year-olds.
And childish adults.
Like me too.
Yeah, 100%.
I agree, man.
What else? Here's a question. Do you have any bedtime rituals?
I mean, I'm a flossing enthusiast. So dental care is crazy for me at nighttime. I would say that's my big
dental
ritual. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Brushing and flossing and all that kind of stuff.
You know what's weird? And I've said this, and I can't believe I admit it, but I've done it. By the way, they are building the stage around us. So when you see random people walking by, there's a band coming up after us. So we got to let them do their thing. But anyway, the what was I just saying? We were talking about the brushing.
Nighttime.
The brushing. I do brush my teeth all the time.
Yeah.
I have here's some weird things about me. I don't use shampoo often. I do it a couple times a week.
I knew that about you. You told me.
I don't use toothpaste all the time.
But that's a good thing, man. Both of those things are probably good.
This is my belief.
Toothpaste is very abrasive.
Well, here's my belief.
So the brushing is actually what gets it clean.
Correct. So here's my weird theory, and I think it's scientific, knowing it's not. I just like to tell myself I'm smart. I believe that the body does produce certain things that protects us. The oils in your hair, the some of the plaques, some of the buildup, kind of guards from other shit. So I realize it can be too much, and it can start affecting other parts of your body. So, but I try to do it like I'll go a day or 2, 3. And not use shampoo. I'll brush my teeth pretty much every day. I use toothpaste 3 times a week, 4 times. People go, that's disgusting. I'll go, all right, you know what I will do most mornings, though? I put a tiny bit on brush, kind of gargle a little bit just to clean everything.
Or you just use mouthwash.
Yeah, that's what I was getting at. Yeah. And I think I'm like, okay.
It's the brushing that gets it clean. It's not the toothpaste.
Exactly. I tell people this all the time.
Yeah.
I know people that brush their teeth.
Brushing and flossing.
That's it.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. All right, that is Random Facts Friday. Looking for a sponsor for that, and it's going to get better. It was our first one. I'll tell you what I'll do. Each Friday, you come up with 3 random facts. I'll come up with 3 random facts.
About ourselves?
No. Just 3 random facts you find.
Okay.
I'll find 3 random facts that I'm interested in.
I like it.
And that's our Random Facts Friday.
That sounds good.
All right, Matt. Let's get right into your music minute, buddy, because they're literally waiting on the side of the stage here.
Yeah.
So
there is a DNA test. It's brought to you by Natalie's, by the way, which is where we are right now.
Natalie's
Natalie's
Seafood. I'm so comfortable here. Everybody knows. Natalie's Seafood Kitchen right here, 2315 Bel Air Road, right in the heart of Fallston. I will go on record as saying this. If you line up every item for item, appetizers, soups, salads, entrees, whatever, I'll compare it to any restaurant I've ever been to as far as deliciousness.
Oh, man, if you love seafood, you're going to love this place. So Billy Idol found out he has
My hero,
a third child.
Yeah, I heard this.
Yeah. So there's a documentary that came out called Billy Idol Should Be Dead, premiered on Tuesday at the Tribeca Film Festival in New York City. People magazine reports that in the documentary, Billy's daughter reveals that she learned she had another brother through a 23andMe DNA test that her husband got her for Christmas a few years ago. Eventually, Billy learned of his son Brant in 2023.
What was the son's name?
His son's name is Brant, Brant.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know Billy Idol's real name?
William Broad.
My man. Yeah.
When he attended the unveiling of Billy Idol's Star Walk attended his unveiling of Billy Idol's star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And if you're keeping score at home, Billy has 3 children, a daughter, Bonnie, and sons, Brant and Willem. He also has 4 grandchildren, including 2 from Brant. You know what I think?
What?
I think Billy might have some other kids. He might find out about it at some point.
I think Billy just lucked out is what happened. I will tell you, anybody that knows me knows, you know how an artist grabs you at a certain age and you just never, who's an artist that grabbed you that's maybe not massive, but you've just always been a fan?
I mean, Phil Collins for me.
Yeah, that's great. Okay, you said that yesterday.
Yeah.
Billy Idol's my guy.
Yeah.
Like, if there's a Billy Idol someone, I'm listening.
Yeah.
Any era, anytime, anything.
See, I was never consider myself a huge Billy Idol fan. I appreciate him, and I love a ton of his music, but
Dude.
I don't think I ever went super deep on Billy
I love
Idol.
it, man.
I
even love the early Generation X stuff, the early punk.
Yeah.
I mean, the Sex Pistols came, and then right after that, it inspired all those other bands. And in my opinion, Generation X and The Clash are the 2 best musical. I mean, Generation X.
Like punk. He brought punk over.
But, dude, Generation X, if you listen to them, then listen to Green Day.
Yeah.
You really.
No, dude, I hear you. All respect. I get it.
I love them.
Yeah.
And the cool part is when Billy Idol, when I think he was like, I don't know, 10 to 14, they lived in Long Island. Mm-hmm. His family, did you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah, his family came over and then they went back and got involved in the punk thing. He was like the first rock star punk, like pinup boy. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because they were ugly, man. The Clash, Sex Pistols,
Yeah.
Billy Idol, he was gorgeous. And those young girls, and then when that band broke up, they came to America, and he broke here. I mean, did you ever see his first David Letterman interview?
Yeah.
When he goes, Billy, a lot of your songs are titles for drugs. And he's like, what? And he goes, David Letterman goes, what do they call? He's like, well, some people call cocaine Rebel Yell, or Dance With Myself is cocaine. That's it. Rebel Yell is heroin. And he said he would go to the clubs in New York, and they would blast his stuff, and he didn't even know it. But Moni Moni was like a huge New York dance thing.
Yeah.
He didn't even know they were playing it. It didn't do much in England when they did the cover.
Right.
And over here it got massive. And then MTV.
I remember hearing that actually.
Yeah, it's a cool story, man. Look up Billy Idol, David Letterman first interview. It's just funny. And he is so whacked out of his mind in that interview.
Yeah.
I mean, he is high as shit. Yeah.
So the longtime music store that was featured in Wayne's World, it's shutting down.
No way.
Yeah, so if you want to visit the fictional Aurora, Illinois music store where Wayne and Garth shopped, you only have a month left to get there. The actual California music store where scenes from the 1992 movie Wayne's World were shot announced it's shutting down in mid-July after 78 years. The current owner of Castle's Music in San Fernando posted on Facebook that he's retiring after taking over the store 48 years ago. In the movie, Wayne goes to the store to purchase an expensive Fender Stratocaster guitar that he's always dreaming of owning. And when Wayne starts to play a riff from Stairway to Heaven with the Fender, the salesperson points to a sign that says, "No Stairway to Heaven." That's the famous scene. A special screening of Wayne's World is scheduled for July 10th at the store before it officially shuts down. So, party on, Castles.
Party on, Wayne.
Yeah. You know the funny thing about that scene in the movie?
What's that?
Like if you watched it for years later on whatever movie outlet, it wasn't Stairway to Heaven that you heard.
Right.
Because they didn't have the rights to it.
Yeah, I know.
But it was in the original movie. You saw it in the theater.
I know.
Yeah.
And it's funny that Led Zeppelin's bitching about rights.
For real, right?
If there's anybody that knows how to rip off somebody, yeah. And I love them.
And all love the Zeppelin. Yeah. I love them.
How about yesterday when I said, do you like Led Zeppelin? And you're fucking wearing a Led Zeppelin t-shirt. I felt like such a dick at that moment.
That's going to be a clip. We put a short.
You're like this. Gee, I don't know. And I literally was like, what? Oh, fuck. It was so funny.
So the Grammys have added a traditional country album category. Some people think this is because of this is backlash against Beyonce. Do you know that whole thing?
Why don't they just call it White Country Award?
Well,
that's what it is.
I don't know, man. I would have been a little, if I was Chris Stapleton or Lainey Wilson, they were the two that were up for Best Country Album in 2025.
Yeah.
I'd be a little butthurt that some pop star came in.
It's a country album.
I don't care. I don't think it's that great. It's not. You think it's that great of an album?
Let me ask you a question.
Do you think Beyonce Country deserves greatest country album?
I don't know enough about country. I know it's country. As far as genre goes,
but have you heard the songs that Beyonce did? I mean, do you think does it sound like good country music to you?
Do you understand that term doesn't even exist to me? Good country
I hear
music.
you, but if you compare it to the actual country artists, I think it stands as legs to stand on.
Enough of it. I'll sound like an asshole.
Or did Jay-Z pay $40 billion to all the radio stations to play it and to get it promoted?
Probably.
Well, he did. He definitely did.
But from what I understand, I thought the country community liked it. No,
they did. I think they do. But
then Trump won, and they could say they didn't again. I got it.
I'm just saying, man. You got guys like Chris Stapleton and Lainey Wilson.
I get it.
Who are the real deal, hardcore country. That was like, when Metallica was up for Best Album, I think it was for the Black Album.
How about when Deep Purple won Best Heavy Metal?
Well, right. But who was the band that won? Who was the band that – it was Jethro Tull.
That's what not –
It was Jethro Tull beat them out. Yeah, they were like, huh?
They're like – everybody thought Metallica was going to get their
Grammy.
Yeah. Jethro
Tull. Got it for some album that nobody ever heard.
I realized –
and all due respect to Jethro Tull.
Yeah.
Because I don't dislike them.
I realized a good way to do this, by the way.
Yeah.
Like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, the Grammy, all these people, we give the awards, right? The most original, and to me, I don't know remember the American Music Award, the People's Choice Awards?
Yeah.
That's the one I want to see.
Well, of course,
because everybody likes the most.
Yeah, it's not some committee deciding. It's actual
bunch of
people.
Self-righteous dorks
the
don't
fans.
Even know how to play music, whatever. Yeah, it's us. We know what we like.
Right. Yeah.
By the way, I got to find out who this is playing.
Give him a shout out.
Every single song.
I was going to say his selection's been outstanding.
Incredible.
Yeah.
Phenomenal.
All right, one more story here for Matt's Music Minute. Linkin Park has their own candy now. Linkin Park fans with a sweet tooth will want to hit their merch booth at their shows later this summer. The band has teamed up with candy maker Haribo for packages of gummies called the Linkin Park Mix that will only be sold at their concerts. They posted a video on their social media that shows them eating the different shapes and flavors. They kicked off their North American tour on July 29th and will kick it off on July 29th in Brooklyn, New York. But, kind of a cool, because bands, to make money, they don't make it off the albums anymore.
No,
it's all on touring and merchandising.
Do you know, I actually have a theory about what's going to happen.
Yeah.
On the internet, like all this free music, and these platforms say, well, you're not allowed to play it, right? Without rights. I think what we're all going to end up doing one day, we're all going to pay $10 or something a year. It's all open platform. IBM and all them, not IBM, who am I thinking of?
BMI.
BMI, ASCAP. They'll all come in. They'll figure out how it works, and artists will get paid.
To your
again.
point,
yeah.
I don't know if you've noticed over the last, say, decade, everybody's getting their music catalogs bought out for like $500 million,
of course.
$300 million.
That's where it's going, dude.
So, there's going to be a conglomerate that owns all the music at some point, I feel like.
Well,
I don't know if that's good or bad.
Well, it's both. And I'll tell you
what.
Because two things are going to happen that I think is happening.
Yeah.
Most people are going to start getting more regional. Everybody thinks the world's growing. Here's what I see. It's growing so much that people are losing focus. So they're going to start looking at what's around them. When we're here, I just want to make an example, and I'll do it right now. You may not be able to tell the depth on this, and it may not look very busy. There's about, just sitting here outside right now with the bar, the tiki bar, and the tables, probably 100 people.
150 people, yeah. I would say.
This is a restaurant that opened 5 weeks ago, 6 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Whatever it's been. From the night we've been here, opened the restaurant. We were here opening night. This is them 7 nights a week. So the point I'm making is, if you advertise on Mickey Talk, no, I'm kidding. The point I'm making is, I think people are to the point where they're like, just make great stuff right here. Like, show me a great original band here. That's all I need. I want a band I can love. I want a movie. I think you're going to start seeing movies made independently in regions. Well,
I mean,
instead of having Hollywood that controls,
I think AI is going to make a bunch of stuff.
Well, yeah, but I don't think people are going to be into it.
I don't know, man. I have a feeling that at some point you're going to go, man, I would love a science fiction movie about X, X, and X, and then
science
spam.
Fiction, yeah.
You'll put it together with AI. Yeah. It'll be incredible.
But don't you think people love good stories and movies? That's what I'm talking about.
But I think AI will be able to do that.
I think when you remove the human element, I don't think.
I agree with you too, but there are people who are
disagreeing with.
There are people who are saying that that's the way it's going to be.
Yeah, I believe it, man. I in fact, Matt, this show, I'll make a little prediction here. If we make it, we are going to be what radio was to everyone for a long time, and that's not an insult to radio. Just poor radio now is. I mean, unless they change
podcasts, they're
they're
the
other thing
now.
That's going to happen in the next 5 years. The FCC is going to lift all the restrictions. And what's going to happen is stations will have letters where they're rated. So like say we had we'd be a rated R radio station, right? So if you're a parent, and it's probably going to be all digital, so you'll have to have an adult code to punch in your radio. I want to listen to Mickey and Matt on 97.9, right? And they punch that in, the code, and boom, then right anywhere you can listen to us, and it's R-rated, and there's no video, but that's where this is all headed.
So you think we'll be able to hear uncensored stuff?
1,000%.
I mean,
you
really
can now.
I was going to say we can now. I mean, the only people who are the FCC will find radio stations for things, but that's only because of a complaint, and it's usually 99 times out of 100, it's not a listener. It's another radio company trying to screw another radio company.
So I only got, in all those years I was on 98 Rock, you know me, dude, I say what, not one fine. We got one complaint. And Dave said to me.
From a listener.
Yeah. Right. And Dave said, listen, just want to let you know, our lawyer said you're fine, but this happened. And I go, Dave, did I do something wrong? He goes, honestly, I don't think you did, but we just got to be careful. I go, okay, well, how do you want me to handle her? He goes, don't worry about it. And I go, no, I got to say something. He goes, no, you don't. I go, I got to say something. He goes, Mickey, let it go. I go, okay. So I go into the show the next day. You know me. It's eating at me. I forget Amelia Scott or one of them goes, what's up, dude? I go, I'm not allowed to talk about it. And it was Scott. And he goes, talk about what? I go, I'm not allowed to talk about that. And they start laughing. Like, what is it? I go, I'm not allowed to talk about it. So they laugh, and I go, hold on, let me make a call. So I called the boss on air. He's like, yeah, what's up? And I go, hey, Dave, listen. Remember we talked about yesterday that I'm not allowed to talk about? And then he goes, please don't talk about it. I go, I won't. But Scott and Amelia keep asking me. I don't know what to do. We're live on the air. Right? So I go, Dave, can you tell him then? And he's like, oh. Right? And I go, look, I'll just put it to you this way. Somebody had a problem. It got straightened out. But I want to say that the person that had the problem is probably the meanest, stupidest, dumbest, fattest, ugliest human that ever lived. Is that okay? And he goes, Dave goes, can we please change the subject? I go, you got it. Sports now with Jerry Coleman. But it was like, you know what I mean? I just, that stuff. People that come, I heard you say shit by mistake on the radio. Okay, what happened? Well, I couldn't believe it. Okay, did it happen? Yes. Why can't you believe it? Like, you heard it, you saw it. I think the FCC is not going to have a choice.
Yeah.
I think it might be a little tough under this administration simply because it's very conservative and all that shit. But I think the world is going.
Yeah, rating system, like you said, might work. It might be a good plan.
Does a heavy cussing woman bother you? A woman that cusses a lot?
No, not really.
It doesn't, right?
mean, yeah.
It's a weird question, isn't it?
It is a weird question.
Here's why.
It depends on the woman.
Agreed. But here's why it's a weird question. I hear a guy cuss, and I'm like, talking what he thinks, right? I'm a cusser, right? I'm not very educated and all that stuff, right? Simple guy. I cuss. Sometimes, though, when a woman, for whatever reason, the woman throws out a mother, MFer, you're like, and it's funny, but it's like a little shocking.
Yeah.
And I think what's happening, we are evolving. And I think we've all learned that the proper way to speak sounds ridiculous.
Well,
it does. I think
we've also learned
and
that
all that shit.
It's just words,
That's my point.
Yeah.
Like, and Buddy Hackett years ago. You know who Buddy Hackett was?
Yeah.
Old-timey comedian.
Yeah.
He's doing an interview, and somebody said, Buddy, your TV and movie career could have been bigger, but you were a dirty comedian at a time when comedians weren't dirty. He goes, yeah, that's just the way I talk, and he couldn't cuss on this show that he was on right now. So he goes, I couldn't cuss like right now. I can't do it. I know I can't. And that's how he talked. I swear I can't do it. So the guy goes, you like it though? He goes, oh, it's the best. He goes, I'll give you an example. You know that word I'm not supposed to say, right? That F word. Everybody laughs. He goes, I won't use that. But imagine this. If I said to you yesterday, I had the best potato I've ever had, you would go, okay. But I'm sorry. I screwed it up. God. Never mind. The point is he used the word potato instead of the F word.
I got you. Yeah.
And it was hilarious.
Yeah.
And it made the point that those kinds of words emphasize, they bring attention to.
Sure, of course.
It's just weird. I think when women
by the way, is that where the word hack came from in comedy?
No.
Where did that come from?
I don't.
Not that he was a hack. I'm just saying, did somebody
wasn't.
steal his stuff?
I don't think it came from Hackett. No. If only there was a device.
Yeah.
Man,
aren't you curious now?
I can't let it go.
Yeah.
In my mind
Yeah. You're gonna educate comedians everywhere now.
Look, I'm not educating any comedians, believe me.
Well, I wonder how many comedians would know where that word hack.
I'll bet a lot of the not old, but like a lot of guys my age, like me, that are just historians.
People know that
about comedy. Yeah. Let me look this up. I'm sorry, everybody. That's a question for you. Who's your favorite comedian of all time?
Probably Sam Kinison. Love Sam.
By the way, totally acceptable answer.
Loved
totally
his book.
Acceptable answer.
Eddie Murphy's up there for me too, though.
Incredible.
Probably Eddie Murphy or Sam Kinison. I hate to say this, but when I was a kid, hate to say this now, it was Bill Cosby. But I go back.
Why do you hate to say that? Listen, I get it.
Yeah.
But the truth is, Bill Cosby is on the Mount Rushmore of comedians. And he's a horrible, despicable human being, right? But as far as comedy goes,
but you know what's interesting though, man? If you go back and you watch Bill Cosby himself now, it did not age well. It doesn't translate today.
I disagree.
It's not funny at all.
Man, watch the dentist bit again.
Yeah, okay.
Watch the snowball.
Right.
Listen to the snowball story.
The dentist
Junior
bit maybe,
Barnes,
but for the most part,
Russell, my brother.
I don't know.
Come on.
I watched it, and when I was a kid, I thought it was hilarious. I laughed through the entire thing.
Wow.
But I watched it as an adult and barely laughed.
Hack.
Okay.
In comedy. Here we go.
Where'd it come from?
Derived from hack-eyed.
Hack-eyed.
Is that what that word says right there? It's hack-eyed, right?
Hackneyed.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
The most widely accepted original point is the word hackneyed. Hackneyed means lacking originality or freshness. And I guess we just shorted it to hack.
Where did that come from, though? Where did that word come from?
See what
Journey close it?
I got right here. The term originally, it doesn't say like where.
It was under that definition.
The word itself comes from Hackney, a horse for hire, implying something that is common, worn out, and used by many.
Oh,
so like an old horse was a hack.
Yeah, right.
Hackneyed. I get it now. The horse had bad wheels.
Yeah.
They shortened it to hack, meaning not really worth much. Got it. That term applies to me at times.
What, hackney?
Oh, yeah.
Why? Why do you say that?
I got things in my arsenal that I know I can just say and they'll get laughs. I don't,
Why is that? I mean, people write material, dude. You don't have material, and you think because you have material that you're a hack?
No, but I mean, I've said things that a lot of other guys have said.
I see what you're saying.
Like, for instance, a check will hit the
well,
table.
Of course, you gotta hit those easy ones sometimes,
but
right?
See, I think a lot of comedians refuse to do it.
Yeah.
I actually love. I'm paying homage in my eyes. Like, I love when the checks start hitting the table, and I go, "You guys get your check?" And they're like, "Yeah." And I go, "What's wrong with that guy?" He's looking at the check. I go, "He's like, oh, who ordered tax?" That's like an old, hacky joke. Stuff like that. I like doing it.
I like that stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah. All right, I'll tell you what, Matt. Natalie, listen.
The weather's looking nice. Temperature's perfect.
It's unbelievable.
Food smells good, man. I'm getting hungry. I'm gonna have some seafood tonight.
I'm driving to Annapolis, my friend. If
Yeah.
anybody is down in that area, Stan and Joe's tonight. I don't know the streets down there.
Friday the
Main
13th.
Street? I don't even know.
Probably Main Street.
I don't know. But come on down Friday the 13th at Stan and Joe's in Annapolis. I think the show is 7:30. So get to Stan and Joe's. I want to thank everybody. Please, Rumble subscribers, thank you. Or
Yeah,
viewers,
we appreciate you. Thank you
so much. Rambo and friends, thank you for the donation today. Thank you to everyone who's been donating. We got some big news coming. Incredible stuff happening.
Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/@MickeyTalksPod.
And Rumble is Mickey Talks Pod.
Same thing on Rumble.
Get out there and find us. Anywhere you can listen to a podcast, we're on it. So you get on it. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye, everybody.
Happy Friday the 13th.
We'll see you Monday.
See you Monday. Yes.
See you guys.
Have a great weekend.